friends, it's me, Amor.
Can't you see that it's just raining? There ain't no need to go outside.
Hey guys, it's Amor. I'm back again with another YouTube video. This is going to be tips and advice for incoming college freshmen. For those of you who don't know, I just finished my first year of college at the College of New Jersey. And so I'm a little bit more equipped with how to navigate as a freshman. So here are some tips that I'll give you guys. And I have my handy dandy notebook where I keep all of my, where I wrote all of my tips down so I can follow and won't be coming up off the head. So 15 tips. Number 1, review professors on Rate My Professor. This is something that like a lot of people don't take as serious, which I think is stupid, because in college your professors have a lot more discretion over your grades. And you don't get to see them most of the time. So having a professor who has a high rating and good reviews will likely translate to a better performance in the class. Or you could even look at the reviews of Rate My Professor and see how that professor teaches. Some people like to learn on their own, and there's some professors who teach like that, so that may be a good class for you. But some people rather have presentations, and you'll find out whether your professor does presentations or not through your class. So definitely review your professors and choose professors with the highest ratings on Rate My Professor. That's hands down the best advice that I've ever gotten. I would do that. I've done that. And so far, I have not had any bad professors, so I really recommend that. Number 2, if you can do a pre-summer program. Pre-summer programs are really a good way. There's every noise that can possibly come. Why are you blasting music? Pre-summer programs are a good way to make friends before you get to school, so that way you're not really completely alone. I know a lot of people struggle with finding people on college campuses and stuff like that, especially if you're a little bit more introverted. Doing a pre-summer program could definitely be a help. 3, download Venmo. You need Venmo for pretty much anything and almost everything. If your friends are ordering pizza, you're gonna need to if you want to chip in, you're gonna need Venmo, and that's pretty much how everything is bought. How all transactions are made. I know at my school they have sales in what we call the student center, where you can get empanadas, but you need to have Venmo if you don't have cash on you. 4, I would say wait to buy your books until you start the class. There was one class and I walked in and my professor was yeah, I have all the books for you guys. So you never know if you're 1, gonna need them. 2, if you are going to need them, you don't know if your professor is gonna make that accessible to you. And you also, another thing that could possibly happen is if you look on Rate My Professor, you can see if your professor requires, if you really need the books, because sometimes they won't tell you that you don't need the books, and you'll buy them, and even throughout the class they'll mention the books you need it, but you can still do excellent in the class without the textbooks, and that's the T. Number 5, join pre-freshman groups. I know at my school we had this TCNJ 2023 Instagram chat and a Facebook group, and if you join those are a good way to make friends, connect to some people who you may end up being in certain classes, communities together, or whatever the case may be, living in the same hall. So that's a good way to make friends too, is by joining pre-freshman group. Number 6, schedule your time wisely and also schedule breaks. In college, it's you have so much time but no time at all, and especially when you have a lot of friends and stuff like that, it's easy to get distracted or to be caught up in whatever your friends are doing and whatever that time frame is but making sure that you're scheduling time for studying, scheduling time for yourself, scheduling time to be with your friends, scheduling time to reach out to family. All these different things are so important, so make sure that you just manage your time wisely. Number 7, I can't stress this enough, get involved. As I said before, getting involved is one of the best ways, one of the better ways to get make friends on campus is to be in different communities. And then when you get involved, why are there's kids screaming. When you get involved, that wasn't smart, was it? Okay. When you get involved, it's a good way to, once again, make friends. Getting involved is also a way to make connections and network, get close and familiar with staff members and things like that. For example, like I decided to join student government, was something I'm passionate about. And you also get to learn a lot of things about what's going on campus, how to change what's going on campus and make it, make the campus a more safe and a more enjoyable community and place to be for other students. So just finding some way to make an impact through involvement. 8, along with getting involved and building network in general. So find ways, join clubs, whether you join clubs, introduce yourself to people, go to whatever types of different hearings that they have. Like sometimes they have open board of trustee hearings, sometimes they have staff searches, things like that. Going to those types of events and networking with the people there. Network with not just staff, but network with upperclassmen. Upperclassmen can be very useful for connecting you with internships. They can be very useful with connecting you with scholarships or other sources of information that you don't know and how to navigate around campus. I would also say network with professors. Your professors are so powerful because they're generally speaking, they most likely are in the field that you're interested in and may have some connections to exactly what you want to do in the field that you're interested in. So make sure you're making a good impression on your professors, and that you're also connecting with them, networking, sending them emails, going to office hours, and making sure that they see you. And along with things like going to office hours, number 9 is utilize all resources. Tutoring. I know at TC&J we have a free tutoring center. It's not really free, we pay for that. Out of our tuition, room and board, and all that type of stuff, like our expenses, that's a part of our expenses and our fees. So utilize that, utilize the tutoring center, the career center, utilize the career center to the max that you can. Career center helps at TC&J. I know we have a career center. I'm not sure what other schools do, but I know from my experience that we have a career center, and I've never been to the career center, didn't even know what they did, but the career center is able to help you get jobs, internships, connect you with people for jobs, post-grad. They have different events that they host, so be sure to connect with those people and take advantage. They have a writing center, so make sure you're using all the resources because you're paying for them, so use it. And it could be make or break for your grades in your classes. And that, accompanied with office hours, tutoring center, career center, will lead you on down a good path and a good start for college. Be prepared for shock. College has a crazy culture. It's a lot of freedom, and it's very for me personally, just because I was very I guess sheltered is the word to use. Just because I was in the house most of my time. I was either in the house during high school or out with my best friend, just shopping. So that was my life. So I was very shocked when I got on college, and it's a very different pace. It's a lot going on. So just try to be prepared for shock. And don't get overwhelmed by the freedom, and make sure that you're using the freedom wisely, because you're not there to be free. You're there to get your education, to learn, to set yourself up for a good career. So keep that in mind. And along those lines, number 11 is don't get distracted and excel academically. Now, a lot of people will tell you that it's okay to fail your freshman year, and it is. But if you know what you want to do, where you want to go career-wise, if you want to go, per se, you want to go to law school or you want to go to med school, the moment you step into college, you need to be sure that you're preparing yourself to be the most competitive. So if, everybody is hearing that it's okay to fail academically freshman year, and then you hear that and you don't internalize it, and you still make sure that you're working hard, that you're showing up to class. Show up to class because you're paying for it. You know what I mean? These are the things that make you more competitive, because remember, the people that you're going to classes with are the people you're competing against for those med school slots, for those law school slots, for those scholarships for grad school. So these are the people that you're competing against, and you have to keep that in mind. And as an incoming freshman, likely, who's watching this video right now, you have a fresh start. I was pretty okay in high school. I was an A-B student, and that was who I was. I won't lie, mostly B's. But you know, half and half. But that was who I was in high school. But I decided to make a change when I came to college. And that change is what's going to make me more competitive for jobs and things like that. So it's very, very important to remember to be as competitive and build yourself to be as competitive as possible and to maintain good grades. So number 12, explore. Take time to figure things out. What you like, what you don't like, how you need to study, who are your friends. So these are all things that the freshman year is like the best to explore and figure out. So like I said, get involved. Along with getting involved, you know, figure out what you like and what you don't like. So join as many clubs as you possibly can fit into your schedule. Make as many friends as you can and figure out who are your good friends, who are the real friends that you have, what are the clubs and programs that you like, what are the career fields that you want to like that you find most interesting. Use college and your freshman year as a chance to figure out figure out your methods, even with like how you need to study. Learn like what works for you. Some people have to be around people to study well and they get motivated from seeing other people, or some people need to isolate themselves. I'm one of those people who like I can do certain things, but I like a lot of my work is reading and writing, and I can only write when I'm with other people, but reading I can't do with other people. So I have to, you know, remove myself from my friendship groups and step away and say, okay guys, I gotta go study, or you know, find time throughout the day to get away and go to the library and read. So just find out a study measure that works for you as well. So just in general, explore. Number 12, explore. Take time to figure things out, and use your freshman year as an experimental year to learn where you belong, where you fit, what you need, and things like that, and then apply that all that knowledge to the next year. 13, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So this is something that a lot of people say, and it's very hard to describe what being comfortable with being uncomfortable means. But like I said, back to like similar to exploring, but not so much. Step outside of your comfort zone. If you were an introverted person, maybe now is the time to step out and, you know, reach out to people and try to make friends. If you weren't so much of, if you like were the type of person in high school who liked to just study and focus on academics and that was all you cared about, maybe now is the time to start looking more to being social and, you know, every now and then, obviously, you know, in moderation. But just when it comes to the statement being comfortable with being uncomfortable, what it really implies is balance. And a lot of times we like to hang on to things that we're familiar with, things that we're comfortable with, and we don't want to step outside of those boundaries of comfort. But being comfortable with being comfortable with being uncomfortable is just simply saying find balance. So if you're one of those people like me who's just, you know, academics, you know, allow yourself to have some social time and things like that. Or if you're one of those people who are very social, find that academic balance. If you're one of those people who never thought that you would hike a mountain and your school's giving you that opportunity to do so, do it. If you're one of those people who never wanted to go to concerts, thought it was crowded, try it, see. Like, just explore. That's the best way I can say. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. 14, take all opportunities and figure it out later. I'm gonna say that again. Take every opportunity and figure it out later. A lot of times we are in college, you're gonna come across a lot of opportunities if you've listened to all the other steps, networked, connect with people, made impressions on campus, got involved. You will be connected with a lot of opportunities, and you may feel like, how am I gonna manage this with all my time? How am I going to fit XYZ into my schedule? How am I going to, how am I gonna hold this all together? Figure that out later, because that's a part of life. Nobody knows how we are going to manage anything. We didn't, before you enter college, you probably don't know how you're going to manage, the freedom, or how you're going to manage the academic difficulties, or how you're going to manage, being away from home. But you're gonna figure it out. And that's with everything in life. So don't be afraid to take opportunities and figure it out as you go, because that's the process of life. And number 15, understand that this is completely new, and be patient with yourself. Be patient and kind to yourself. This is really important because a lot of people tend to compare themselves in college, especially freshmen, and they see how other people are doing academically. And though I said that you want to try your best academically, if you haven't gotten to that point, you shouldn't be down on yourself. But you should be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, understand that this is new territory, that you have never done this before, that the people around you have never done this before, and try to, make your best foot forward and try to adapt as best as you can, and be kind to yourself, be patient with yourself. This is all a learning process. And there's a saying, if it won't matter in 5 years, then don't spend more than 5 minutes thinking about it. So just be patient, be kind with yourself. Everything will come together. That is life. Like, literally the purpose of life is for us to struggle, how we're going to figure things out, and then we figure things out, and then it's like it never happened. Like that struggle was never there, and we never think back to how much we thought about it and how much overthinking and how much struggle that we had to get to where we're going. We focus more so on, and then when we don't think about the struggle that we got to get to where we're going, we don't appreciate ourselves for how much hard work we put. So in general, be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, and keep going. You've got this. And that's all for my tips to incoming freshmen. I hope you guys like this video. Give it a huge thumbs up. Like, subscribe, comment down if you have any questions. Like I said, I'm going to TCNJ. So if you have any questions about that, I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have about being a freshman. Comment down some videos that you guys want to see about being an incoming freshman. If you want to see, what to bring to college or something like that, just let me know what you guys want to see. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing, outstanding, beautiful day. You lovely people.